In front of a basic brick building, a sign with the text PRTF. Title: What are PRTFs?
You are told your child needs to go to a psychiatric residential treatment facility, PRTF. PRTFs are institutions, locked or secured by staff, where children and adolescents are sent to get long-term mental health treatment, usually for several months, though some kids stay longer than that. Maybe this is the first time for your child. Maybe this has happened before, maybe even many times before. You probably have questions. You deserve answers. Whether this is the first time your child, or the child for whom you are legally responsible, may go to a PRTF, or this has happened many times, we hope these videos will help. Disability Rights NC, DRNC, created these videos to give you the tools you need to advocate for your child so they stay safe and receive helpful services in the facility. DRNC wants to help ensure you know everything about the place your child is going, so their rights are protected, their IEP is implemented, and planning for the child's discharge starts the day they arrive at the PRTF. Stabilization should be the goal of this institutionalization. PRTFs are not places for children to live for extended periods of time.
In a PRTF room, a child lowers her head as she sits on the floor. Her room is plain with a small window, cinder block walls, fluorescent lights, and a small wooden bed. Title: The Problems with PRTFs.
North Carolina over-relies on these expensive institutions, paying the PRTF $400 to $800 per day, per child. Because it fails to provide enough of what kids actually need, appropriate mental health services in their communities, to prevent kids from spiraling into a crisis. Many PRTFs fail to provide effective mental health treatment or trauma-informed care. Instead, staff maintain control through strict rules, routines, and the use of restraint and seclusion. DRNC staff have seen many cases of abuse and neglect in these facilities. And kids are separated from their families, sometimes very far away. This separation makes it harder to work through family issues and makes it more likely that problems will arise again once children return to their families. PRTFs are also very expensive. They are not a best practice in treating mental health issues in youth.
In front of the PRTF building, a map of the United States. Title: What about out-of-state PRTFs?
North Carolina also pays big bucks to send kids to PRTFs in other states. Some of these are hundreds, even thousands of miles away from the child's family and community. Like with PRTFs in North Carolina, information about these facilities can be difficult to find. Unsilenced.org has a database of information on facilities throughout the United States that includes reports of regulatory investigations and some media reports. You can also reach out to the Protection and Advocacy Organization in the state where the facility is located by searching Protection and Advocacy, State. These organizations are sister organizations to DRNC, the Protection and Advocacy Organization for North Carolina. Use the link above to find the Protection and Advocacy Organization for your state.
At her kitchen counter, Crystal sits with her laptop open.
These videos focus on 2 advocacy tools you can use to help your child or the child for whom you are legally responsible. Research. How to research specific North Carolina PRTFs and learn what the state's own investigators uncover when they go to PRTFs. And advocacy. How to advocate for your child's rights with the agency that is suggesting sending the child to a PRTF, with the PRTF itself, and with state investigators. DRNC created these videos to advise you to do your research about PRTFs, and help you do it. The next video in this series focuses on North Carolina PRTFs. You may find this information to be very different from information you find on PRTF websites. Please note some of this information may be alarming, but it is important to have all the facts so you can be the best advocate for your child or the child for whom you are the legal guardian.